Hello party people, and welcome back to my channel. If you find any value in this video, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. In today's video, we're going to discuss something that's very prevalent to a man like me, someone who has a problem controlling their temper. So I have been in situations where I wasn't able to control my temper, and it got me into a lot of trouble. I've been in situations where I've been with abusive people who have pushed me to my limits, and as a result, I proved their point by stooping to their level due to anger. And anger is something that's really hard to cope with. So this will be a first video and maybe a long line of videos on anger management based off of what I know. So I have been arrested for hitting the windshield of a car. I have the story time video coming up. I have been in situations where I had to take an anger management course that was government mandated, where I had to take it because of my arrest. And let me just tell you, their advice sucks. So listen to me, not to your court mandated anger management, unless you actually find value in it. So here we go. Here are the steps that you're going to take if you're in a situation that's pissing you off so much that you're going to break something, you're going to hurt someone, you're going to hurt yourself, or you're just going to make your life a lot worse because you're reacting out of anger. Number one is you got to leave the situation. It can be embarrassing if you're at a party and you're being tricked. You ever seen the movie Shrek, where everyone's pissing Shrek off and he's just so upset and like everybody's coming at him from all angles, and the cake's not working, the wife's complaining at him, the kids are crying, everyone's being annoying, and he's just so freaking frustrated and everything's built up. What did he do? He had a breakdown. He smashed the cake. That's a very real scene to me. It very, very much, I looked at that scene and I was like, you know what? I get it, Shrek. And he screams and he smashes the cake and everyone's mad at him. I've been in a situation just like that. My baby shower ended up with me yelling at someone. Why did I end up yelling at someone? Honestly, they deserved it, but that's not the point. The point is, it doesn't matter how bad someone deserves to be yelled at. It doesn't matter how bad someone deserves to be confronted. It's not your job in that moment to do it. So you need to leave the situation. You need to get out of the situation. You got to go. You got to leave the situation and get to safety. Because clearly, if you're feeling so flooded, it's your body telling you that something's not safe. If you don't feel safe in a situation, you don't feel like you can be around those people without feeling like you're in danger, you need to get out of the situation. You have to go. You know, and if you're not in an unsafe situation, you could still feel that false alarm. Ding, 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 ding. You need to go. Number two is after you've gotten out of the situation. I know it can be embarrassing. Like maybe it's your kid's birthday party and you don't want to leave because you don't want people talking about you. But guess what? You have to get to safety. You just have to, or you're going to look like a fool in front of everybody. I've been there. Next thing is, you need to delay your reaction. You need to delay your reaction. I'm not talking about suppressing it. I'm not talking about pushing a beach ball underwater until it explodes and it shoots high up in the sky. That's not what we want. What we want to do is we want to take the time. We want to increase the time between when we are pissed off, when we are triggered, when our brain is activated, and we want to extend the length of time that we can maintain our control. Not control over others, but control over ourselves, self-control. We need to extend it for as long as we can until we can get to a right mindset, because you're not in the right mindset. Your brain, right here, your prefrontal cortex is not working anymore. The fear center in your brain, the amygdala, is activated. You're not thinking. You're literally not thinking straight, because the part of your brain, you go into reptile brain. You want to hurt people. You want to hit things. You want to scream. You want to act like an animal, because humans are still animals. But we are better than that in a way. We've been able to adapt and modify ourselves so that we have the ability to delay when we're pissed off to when we react. You got to get yourself out of the situation so you can calm down. So don't send the text. Don't send the mean text that you want to send. You're not ready to send that text. You will say something that you regret. Don't scream at someone yet. Don't do it yet. If you're going to do it, you better give yourself as much time in between that initial trigger and the action or the reaction, right? Next thing is you're going to you're going to take some positive, you're going to have to go do healthy coping mechanisms. Like taking a break. They always say, oh yeah, like take a break. What do you do during that break? You just sit and ruminate on it, sit and get upset about it, sit and pretend like it didn't happen. You got to get your mind off of it. And sometimes that can be really hard because you're still flooded. And maybe you did have to leave your kid's birthday party. What are you going to do if you have to leave your kid's birthday party because someone made it so hard for you to freaking manage yourself? And you're so pissed because you're like, I should be there. I this, I that. I've been in that situation. I will be in that situation again. You are speaking to a man who knows what he's talking about in this area. And this is how I handle it, at least to the best of my ability, because I'm not perfect. I'll tell you, I don't always react the best. There are some sucky people that I have to deal with very frequently. You got to avoid, or you got to, do your healthy coping mechanisms. You're going to trauma dump in a journal. So you're going to get a pen and paper, and you're going to freaking write down everything that's pissing you off, everything that's bugging you, every bad word you want to say, everything that you need to get to that person. You got to write it down because you're going to say it to someone. So you might as well say it to the paper so you can see how it looks on paper. You could cook for yourself. Do you cook? Do you like ramen noodles? Is that your comfort? Spaghetti? Is that your comfort? Fried chicken? What do you want, right? Overeating is not a good strategy, but eating a good meal, making sure that you're fed, making sure that you're not hungry, making sure that you're not in a situation where your body's underfed, which could be making you more angry. You got to eat, okay? Try to eat something because it really will help. You can't be angry on an empty stomach. It will accelerate things. So cook something that makes you happy. Make your best meal, buy McDonald's, buy the wingers, whatever you want to eat. Not sponsored by Wingers or McDonald's yet. Positive self-talk. You got to hype yourself up, you know? You got to say like, listen, you got to bring yourself back into reality. You could do this on paper or you could do it verbally. And I'm talking out loud verbally to yourself, you know? Once you're in that safe situation, when you're alone, or maybe you got to go be with someone, but you got to say, I am a good dad. I am a good man. I am valuable. I am flexible. I am virtuous. I am a dog. I am the guy. You got to have that ability. Even if you don't believe it, you got to be saying those things out loud to yourself until you believe it. I'm not angry. And maybe don't say I'm not angry. Acknowledge your feelings, but I'm saying like, I am not an angry person. I'm angry right now. Put yourself into perspective because you are much better than the feeling that you're feeling right now. And it's okay to be angry. Society tells you it's not okay to be angry. But anger is absolutely a valid emotion. And it's an emotion that men are really not allowed to feel publicly without being ashamed or without being demonized. And that's not right. So I'm not here to demonize you for your anger. I'm here to tell you how to manage it. Next thing is avoid self-destructive behaviors. Oh, you know what? Real quick, let's just go back real quick. Listen to positive music. Don't listen to angry music. Listen to something that uplifts you. Dude, I'll listen to Hannah Montana. Why? Because Hannah Montana brings back childhood memories. I enjoy listening to that because it makes me happy. Camp Rock, High School Musical, that's what makes me happy. Bob Marley, that's what makes me happy. So Polynesian music, love it. Aloio Faiva is my favorite song. That song brings peace to my heart. So listen to what you got to listen to, whatever it is. Don't be listening to crap music. I like pop punk, but maybe that's not the best thing for me because it kind of gets me down. So don't listen to something that makes you worse. Don't be listening to heavy metal and freaking Till I Collapse and Cinderella, man. Eminem's probably not your guy, unless it is, unless that calms you down. Exercise, obviously, go lift weights. Get your energy out. Next thing is avoid self-destructive behaviors like compulsive shopping, gambling, alcohol consumption. Don't be drinking alcohol when you're angry. Do not do that. It's going to make it worse. Don't go gamble away your life savings out of impulse. If you're a compulsive shopper like me, you're going to want to spend money when you're upset. You're going to want to numb the pain by being like, look, I got a new cologne. I collect cologne. On this channel, you'll always see cologne. Today I was pissed off. My first thought was like, well, I can afford a $20 cologne. No, you stay away from Burlington. Hitting walls. Today, I wanted to hit walls, and I wanted to hit them very hard, but that's crazy, you know? I get it. but I had to refrain because you cannot damage things. You can't be destructive. You can't hit things. You can't hit people. You can't break things. That's not the way to go. That's not how we operate. We operate as men, right? Or as women. If you're watching this as a woman, we operate with class. That's just how the party people operate. You guys are my party people. Let's operate at a high level to the best of our ability. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke. Don't do that, you know. Find a positive coping mechanism, and don't watch pornography if you can avoid it. That's a good stress reliever, I'm sure, you know, but it's not the way, you know. It's better than smashing a wall, but it's not the healthiest way for you to manage your emotions. 100% no. And then remember who you are and who you want to be. Who do you want to be? Is the person that you're trying to be in this moment while you're pissed off, where you're the front of your brain that actually operates your good decision making? Do you want to act more like that rational person? Or do you want to be the person who breaks things, who tears up walls, who screams at their mother-in-law? That's me. Psycho. She was a psycho, but that's not the point. The point is that no matter how bad they are, don't let you stoop to their level. I said in another video, never fall to your reputation, but rise to the level of your true character. Who are you really when you're at your best? That's why you have to leave the situation, is because it brings you back to who you really are. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Remember the virtues that you want to embody. If you're spiritual or religious in any way, scriptures. What scripture? What Quran verse? What Torah verse? What Bible verse? For me, as a Christian, I always come back to the Bible verse that says, "He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty." It's Proverbs 16:32, maybe? I don't know. It's Proverbs 16 something. And I had to read that today because I was so upset. And I maybe operated under my character for a minute, you know? Didn't act the way that I should. That doesn't make me a bad person. I just had to reevaluate, like, who do I want to be? Do I want to be the guy who comes onto YouTube and tries to give the best advice that I can to people based off of my own actions? Or do I want to be the kind of man who can't be trusted? Who do I want to be? Who do you want to be? Speaking of which, who will I be? I watched Camp Rock. That's what I did when I was upset. I watched Camp Rock. I watched a movie that made me happy. And I listened to the music. Who will I be? And that song embodies what I'm talking about. Who will you be? It's up to you, dog. It's up to you guys. And then revisit the situation when you're calm. If it's a situation with your wife, you got to go back to the situation. Unless you're going to get a divorce. I mean, if you're always in this cycle, if you're always feeling angry, you need to look into your options. If you're always like this, you got to get counseling, couples, individual. But if you're always in this situation, you need out. I'm so sorry to tell you this. If you're in a situation where it's a constant pattern, where you feel like this all the time, it might be time for you to leave or to figure out why you need to stay. But don't let this cycle continue and act like it's okay. It's not okay. This cycle should be a rare thing. It should be every so often when you're struggling. It shouldn't be every day. If you feel like this every day, figure out what kind of counseling you can get so that you feel okay. Revisit the situation when you're calm. When you're calm, you got to go back home. You got to go back to the party. You have to apologize when you did something wrong. And if you didn't do something wrong, you have to remain calm or neutral. And you need to walk in there and you need to face the situation. And you need to communicate. You can't just sweep things under the rug and expect it to be okay. You need to communicate. Do the best that you can. If you don't have communication skills, look them up, Google them, ChatGPT them. How do I communicate? On ChatGPT, I guarantee you'll find something. Pick one and try it, because people want communication. To be unclear is to be unkind. Be kind. Communicate, especially with women. They really want that communication, and it may make the whole situation better. And if it doesn't, then that's an indicator that you move forward without that person. If you're not allowed to do any of these things. If you feel like everything I said you're not even able to do because it's just like You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to leave the situation. You're not allowed to delay your reaction because you're in danger. Like, they're calling you a pedophile. If they call you a pedophile, what are you going to do? You're going to defend your honor? Or are you going to get out of the situation? It seems like you should defend your honor. It really does. Sometimes you got to get out of the situation. That's the first step. And then those healthy coping mechanisms keep you safe. The self-destructive coping mechanisms will hurt you. Forgetting who you are allows you to be anyone, be any kind of monster. You can be capable of great harm. I'm capable of great harm. We all are. But the fact of the matter is we got to remember who we want to be. So have a good rest of your day. If you're pissed off, me too. Stay calm. I'm calm. We got to be better men. We got to be better women. We got to do the right things even when we don't want to. Love you guys. Go do something fun.